Hello everyone, and it's my pleasure to be able to present to you at this year's Gold and Alternative Investments Conference. I'd like to thank Kerry for inviting me to be able to do this in virtual space, even though I can't be there with you in person. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about De Grey's plans, especially over the next 12 months, and particularly in relation to our recent exciting Hemi gold discovery. Please note our disclaimer about forward-looking statements. I would encourage you to review this slide in full in the copy of this presentation on the company's website. The Hemi discovery is a large-scale, near-surface intrusion-hosted gold deposit. This style of mineralisation has not previously been identified in the Pilbara region. De Grey is very excited about the potential to increase the size of Hemi and to find more of the same. The company has a 150 kilometre long tenement package in the region, and the fact this intrusion style of mineralisation has not previously been explored for provides a unique and exciting opportunity for the company. We see further value accretion for the shareholders through the expansion and delineation of Hemi, delineation of known mineralised intrusions around Hemi, and exploration for Hemi-like repeats. The three elements of the company's growth path shown on this slide comprise expanding the mineralised footprint at Hemi and extending the system at depth, delineating the extent of known mineralised intrusions around Hemi, including Scooby, Antwerp and Shaggy, and identifying new Hemi-like intrusions and shear-hosted prospects on a tenement-wide scale, and expanding the existing regional resource base beyond the current 2.2 million ounces. Starting with Hemi, De Grey's aspirational goal at and near Hemi is to delineate mineralisation at a Tier 1 scale. This excludes the existing regional resource base outside Hemi of 2.2 million ounces. We have seen continued and rapid expansion of mineralisation at Hemi. We expect an initial resource there in the coming 12 months, when a meaningful portion is likely to be classified as JORC indicated. The large scale and continuity of the intrusion style deposits at Hemi and the speed at which RC drilling can be conducted is an advantage for resource definition. We will also continue the very successful metallurgical test work program initially conducted on Brolga mineralisation. This comprehensive program will expand to Aquila and other zones and will incorporate optimisation test work. The results of the initial metallurgical test work reported are very encouraging. The test work achieved recoveries of 93% for oxide mineralisation and recoveries greater than 95% for transition and fresh mineralisation. This initial test work is an important step in de-risking the project, even at this early stage. Moving to the area immediately surrounding Hemi, 5 intrusives have been identified, of which 4 are known to be mineralised. The company is currently conducting air core drilling over the known mineralised intrusives to delineate mineralised footprints for follow-up RC drilling. Air core drilling over other intrusives will also be conducted over the next 6 months. On a tenement-wide basis, aeromagnetics and geochemistry will be used to identify potential Hemi lookalikes and to target the 200 kilometres of shear zones for other styles of mineralisation. Thirdly, the existing regional resource base of 2.2 million ounces outside of Hemi will make a valuable contribution to a future large-scale processing facility at Hemi. The company will incrementally expand these resources with extensional drilling. De Grey currently has 6 rigs operating in the Hemi region, and we are continuing to extend mineralisation there. Our overall goal over the 12 months is to demonstrate the potential for De Grey to become a Tier 1 gold producer at Hemi. This slide outlines our corporate structure and major shareholders. The company's shares trade on the Australian Stock Exchange under the code DEG. Our major shareholder, DGO Gold, is very aligned with our strategy to deliver a Tier 1 gold project at Mallina. I would invite you to review this slide in more detail at your leisure, and I'll simply say that I think we have a very capable, experienced and well-regarded board, capable of overseeing the company's growth and transformation. The management and technical team at De Grey has taken projects from grassroots exploration through to multi-million ounce discoveries, project financing, project development and operations. The management team will be strengthened as necessary to meet the company's short and medium-term goals. The company is also building its capability in respect of corporate risk and governance, health and safety, environmental management and community relations. Recently, the company employed Mr. John Brocklesby as its corporate risk, health, safety and environment manager. John will oversee the development and implementation of these systems in line with the company's rapid growth. The Pilbara Craton is similar in age and geology to the Yilgarn Craton. However, compared with the Yilgarn, it has been relatively underexplored for gold mineralisation. Prior to the Hemi discovery, the potential gold endowment of the Pilbara Craton had been questioned. However, the discovery of Hemi by de Grey has completely changed these perceptions. Hemi is located in the Mallina Basin on the western third of the Pilbara Craton. The Mallina Basin is considered by de Grey to be the most prospective part of the Pilbara for Hemi-style intrusions. De Grey has a commanding regional tenement position here. Hemi is located 60 kilometres south of Port Hedland, a major regional mining services centre in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. It is surrounded by world-class infrastructure in the form of transportation, high voltage power and gas distribution corridors. Good quality replenishable groundwater is present across the tenements. This infrastructure represents a distinct advantage for the development of a large-scale gold project. It also differentiates Hemi from other large-scale gold projects recently developed in Western Australia. On a district scale, de Grey is not only looking for Hemi-like intrusion targets, but also for shear-hosted and other forms of gold deposits. The company is using new aeromagnetics completed in June to locate potential new intrusion targets across the entire 150 kilometres of its tenement package. New targets generated will be tested using air-core drilling. Due to repetitions, there is approximately 200 kilometres of strike of shear zone across the tenement package. Large sections remain untested, and the most prospective of these will be followed up with air-core drilling over the next 12 months. The company will also incrementally increase its existing regional resource base of 2.2 million ounces that includes deposits such as Mallina, Withnell and Windgina. The value of the existing regional resources will be significantly enhanced with a large-scale central processing facility at Hemi. In addition, the flow sheet that was so successfully employed during the initial metallurgical test work of Hemi is capable of treating each of the existing regional gold deposits. The value of the Hemi discovery was only recently appreciated in February this year. Hemi comprises 3 zones. These are Brolga, Aquila and Crow. These zones currently extend for approximately 2.5 kilometres in a north-south direction and 2 kilometres east-west and remain open. One air-core rig is currently engaged in identifying mineralised intrusion extensions at Hemi. Recent extensions have been announced for Brolga and Aquila. Drilling at Aquila has so far delineated high-grade mineralisation in an intrusion along a 1.6 kilometre strike and to a depth of approximately 400 metres. Mineralisation remains open in all directions. The gold endowment at Aquila is very high, as demonstrated in announcements made during June, July and August. Recent drilling has extended mineralisation to a depth of approximately 400 metres in HERC 104D. Results are expected shortly from a string of diamond holes extending for approximately 800 metres to the east of 104D. Aquila continues to expand along strike. At the southern end of Aquila, on the plan on the left of the slide, results include 16 metres at 3.7 grams per tonne gold, 16 metres at 2.5 grams per tonne gold and 13 metres at 1.8 gram per tonne gold. The photo on the right-hand side of the slide shows visible gold intersected in drill hole HERC 232 in the southern extension of Aquila. Assays are awaited for this hole. These results demonstrate the very high prospectivity of the southern extension of Aquila. RC drilling is underway in this area and results are expected to deliver a steady news flow over the coming months. Recently, aircore and RC drilling extended known mineralisation at least 800 metres to the west and south of the previously known mineralisation at Aquila. Near-surface extensions will continue using RC drilling and at depth with diamond drilling. Brolga has currently been delineated by RC drilling to approximately 640 metres along strike. up to 300 metres in width and to a depth of approximately 250 metres. Brolga is characterised by thick, well-mineralised intervals and remains open in all directions. As we continue to test the extent of mineralisation at Brolga, we are having success in new areas, which gives us encouragement for the potential of this system. Recently, extensions were identified in air-core drilling to the south and west of Brolga. The results of definition and extensional drilling at Brolga are expected in the next week. The southerly extension to Brolga was announced in June and included 16 metres at 2.4 grams per tonne gold, 8 metres at 2.2 grams per tonne gold, and 4 metres at 5 grams per tonne gold. A westerly extension to Brolga in air-core drilling was announced and included 16 metres at 1.9 grams per tonne gold, and follow-up RC drilling is in progress in this area to extend mineralisation to the west and east of Brolga. The Crow Zone further demonstrates the scale of the intrusives at Hemi. Air-core drilling has thus far delineated Crow over approximately 1,000 metres in strike and 400 metres in width. The results of RC extensional and definition drilling were recently announced as shown in the plan on the left-hand side of the slide. Of interest, a new subvertical lode was identified between Aquila and the larger Crow intrusion. This lode remains open along strike and at depth. The new lode could prove important in future open pit optimisations in providing a connection between Aquila and Crow. Follow-up extensional RC and diamond drilling continues. This section through Hemi shows the extent of drilling to date. The potential for large-scale, near-surface open pit resources is clear. There is also clear potential to expand Hemi's footprint with air-core drilling and for depth extensions with RC and diamond drilling. Currently there's 1 air-core, 2 RC and 2 diamond rigs operating on Hemi alone. Known mineralised intrusives have been identified immediately surrounding Hemi. These mineralised intrusives include Scooby, Antwerp and Shaggy. De Grey mobilised a second air-core rig to site during June. This rig has commenced work along the corridor east of Hemi towards Scooby and west of Hemi toward Antwerp. As previously noted, air-core drilling can be conducted quickly and efficiently, with each air-core rig drilling approximately 8,000 metres per month. An initial line spacing of approximately 640 metres, with collars approximately every 160 metres per line, allows large areas to be rapidly tested. Infill drilling is conducted as results dictate. Targets identified in this way by air-core drilling will be followed up with RC drilling. Since the announcement at Brolga in February, the company has been focused in and around Hemi. However, other intrusion-style targets exist elsewhere across the regional tenement package, as exemplified by the Calvert and Charity Well prospects and Tawarana deposit. Over the next 12 months, a separate team to that operating at Hemi will be established to review tenement-wide prospectivity, including for Hemi-like intrusive targets. Detailed geophysics and geochemistry will be used to identify these targets, and these will be followed up with air-core drilling. On a tenement-wide basis, including around Hemi, there are 8 known intrusives, of which 7 are known to be mineralised. Only Hemi has been meaningfully tested. More than 20 anomalous features have been identified across the tenement package using aeromagnetics that require further on-ground investigation. In addition, there is approximately 200 kilometres of shear zones to be assessed for other styles of mineralisation. The company will incrementally increase its existing regional resource base of 2.2 million ounces that includes Mallina, Withnell and Windjana. The value of the existing regional resources is significantly enhanced by the potential for a large central processing facility at Hemi. Over half of the existing regional resource base of 2.2 million ounces has been drilled to a JORC measured and indicated classification, a large proportion of which is near surface. These resources and any new regional discoveries would significantly enhance a project centred around Hemi. The potential for a Tier 1 project at Hemi is real. The company has commenced and will continue studies and test work aimed at de-risking the project. The results of initial metallurgical test work were very encouraging. The initial test work demonstrated that recoveries of 93% were achieved for oxide mineralisation, and recoveries greater than 95% were achieved for transition and fresh mineralisation. Initial test work also demonstrated gravity recoverable gold of over 10%. This is very interesting, particularly in light of visible gold seen in the southern extensions of Aquila. This initial test work is an important step in de-risking the project, even at this early stage. The test work flow sheet for oxide mineralisation involves typical cyanide leaching. The test work flow sheet for transition and fresh mineralisation utilised sulphide flotation to produce a gold-rich sulphide concentrate. This concentrate was then processed by pressure oxidation, followed by cyanide leaching. In addition, the flotation tailing was treated through standard cyanide leaching. An overall gold recovery of 96% was achieved with this flow sheet. Importantly, flotation achieved high gold recoveries into a gold-rich concentrate that represented only 7.5% of the feed into the flotation circuit. This means that the size of an oxidation circuit would be approximately 15 times smaller than the plant feed. The small concentrate volume is expected to reduce the cost of an oxidation circuit. The gold to sulphur ratio of the concentrate was also high. This means that less sulphur needs to be oxidised for the same amount of gold recovered compared with deposits that do not achieve high gold recoveries into a concentrate. Oxidation of the gold-rich concentrate during test work was rapid. These factors are expected to have a positive effect on reducing the residence time and the size of an oxidation circuit and operating costs. These are exceptionally good results for initial unoptimised test work. The test work flow sheet used for transition and fresh mineralisation at Hemi will also be able to treat the company's regional deposits. Additional samples from Brolga and Aquila covering oxide, transition and fresh mineralisation will be tested to assess variability and to optimise the flow sheet. Testing will also be expanded to any new discoveries. The metallurgical test work program is a long lead time study required to de-risk the project. The recent results remain to be optimised. However, the test work demonstrates that at least one industry-proven method of processing has been successful in achieving high gold recoveries. Other processing flow sheets are currently being tested. Hemi's proximity to all necessary infrastructure is expected to result in significantly lower infrastructure costs compared to other large-scale remote gold projects recently developed in Western Australia. This is expected to offset additional capital costs of a flotation plant and small oxidation circuit. Other long lead time de-risking studies include environmental baseline and infrastructure corridor studies. The company's growth path over the next 12 months involves expanding Hemi's footprint and depth and delineating mineralisation to a Tier 1 scale, delineating the extent of known mineralised intrusions around Hemi, including Scooby, Antwerp and Shaggy, and identifying new Hemi-like intrusions and shear-hosted prospects on a tenement-wide scale, and expanding the existing regional resource base beyond 2.2 million ounces. The company's board, management and major shareholders are aligned with the strategy of the company maintaining 100% ownership of its asset base through resource growth, project studies, development and production. The company believes that this growth path will maximise value accretion for all shareholders. In addition, the company will continue to build on its strong organisational capability to achieve this outcome. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you understand why we're so excited about Hemi and its growth plans for the future, and I look forward to seeing you again in person as soon as we can.